Picture this. You're scrolling through your phone when suddenly an ad appears. Flash sale, 70% off, only 6 hours left. Your heart rate quickens, your thumb hovers over the screen. In that moment, something ancient awakens in your brain, something that once helped our ancestors survive, but now might be sabotaging your financial future. Welcome to Luxona. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most powerful forces shaping your relationship with money, the psychology of scarcity. But this isn't just about understanding your impulses. This is about recognizing that everything you experience as scarcity begins as a thought, a belief, an energetic frequency that literally shapes your reality. Before money becomes physical, before it appears in your bank account or disappears from it, it exists as consciousness, as pure potential, waiting to be directed. Today, we'll trace this journey from the invisible realm of thought to the very real world of your financial decisions. 1. The primal pull of scarcity. Deep in the most ancient part of your brain, in structures that evolved millions of years ago, lies a survival mechanism that once meant the difference between life and death. When our ancestors encountered limited resources, food, shelter, safety, their brains developed a rapid response system. Scarcity meant urgency, hesitation meant starvation. But here's where it gets fascinating. This same neural pathway that helped early humans compete for scarce mammoth meat now activates when you see limited time offer on a designer handbag. Your amygdala, your brain's alarm system, can't distinguish between a saber-toothed tiger and a flash sale. Both trigger the same primal response. Act now, think later. This is tunnel vision in action. When scarcity signals fire in your brain, your field of awareness narrows dramatically. You stop seeing the bigger picture. You stop calculating true value. You stop asking the deeper questions. Do I actually need this? Can I afford this? What else could I do with this money? Marketing executives understand this better than most people understand themselves. Walk through any store and count the scarcity messages. While supplies last. Only 3 left in stock. Sale ends tonight. Each phrase is carefully designed to bypass your rational mind and speak directly to your survival instincts. But here's the profound truth most people miss. That feeling of scarcity, that urgent pull you experience, it didn't begin with the advertisement. It began with a thought, perhaps one you've been thinking for years. There's never enough. I always miss out. Good deals don't come to people like me. These thoughts, repeated unconsciously, create an energetic vibration that literally attracts experiences of limitation into your life. Reality works from the inside out, not the outside in. The scarcity you perceive in your external world is always a reflection of the scarcity you hold in your internal world. The thought comes first, then the emotion, then the behavior, then the physical manifestation. 2. The brain's bias, when less means more problems. Now let's explore how this scarcity mindset creates specific cognitive distortions that keep you trapped in cycles of financial struggle. The endowment effect reveals something profound about human psychology. We don't just own our possessions, they own us. Once something becomes mine, its perceived value skyrockets, especially when we fear losing it. This isn't rational, it's emotional. You've probably experienced this if you've ever been reluctant to sell a stock that's declining, hoping it will recover, even when logic suggests cutting your losses. But trace this back further. Where does the need to own come from? What thought preceded the attachment? Often it's the belief that I am what I have. This thought creates an identity fusion between your sense of self and your possessions. When you believe you are your things, losing them feels like losing yourself. Loss aversion takes this even deeper. Psychologists have proven that the pain of losing $100 is approximately twice as intense as the pleasure of gaining $100. Your brain is literally wired to avoid losses more than it seeks gains. This made sense when losing your winter food stores meant death, but it makes no sense when it prevents you from taking calculated risks that could improve your financial position. Here's where cognitive overload enters the picture. When you're constantly worried about money, when scarcity thoughts dominate your mental space, your brain's processing power gets hijacked. Decision fatigue sets in. You start making choices from a place of emotional reactivity rather than conscious intention. Think about the last time you were financially stressed. Did you find yourself making poor decisions in other areas of your life? This isn't coincidence. Financial stress literally reduces your cognitive bandwidth, making you more susceptible to impulsive choices, more likely to focus on immediate gratification, and less capable of long-term planning. But again, the stress isn't creating the thoughts. The thoughts are creating the stress. Every moment of financial anxiety begins with a thought about the future. What if I can't pay my bills? What if I lose my job? What if there's an emergency? These thoughts, when believed and repeated, create the very emotional states that lead to poor financial decisions. 3. The scarcity trap. Common pitfalls. Let's examine how scarcity thinking manifests in specific financial behaviors that keep people trapped in cycles of limitation. The payday loan mentality perfectly illustrates how scarcity thinking creates more scarcity. When someone borrows against their next paycheck at 400% annual interest, they're not making a rational economic decision. They're operating from panic, from the desperate belief that there's no other option. The immediate relief comes at the cost of future financial security, creating a cycle where each month becomes more difficult than the last. But what thought preceded the decision to take the payday loan? Usually something like, I have no other choice, or this is just temporary, or something will work out. These thoughts feel true in the moment of crisis, but they're actually creative forces, literally shaping future experiences of limitation. Fear of missing out drives another common trap. FOMO isn't just about social media. It's about the deep belief that opportunities are scarce, that if you don't act now, you'll never get another chance. This thought creates a desperate energy that attracts more situations where you feel pressured to make quick decisions. You see this in investment bubbles, in overspending during sales, in the accumulation of things you don't need because they were such a good deal. Each purchase made from FOMO energy reinforces the pattern, confirming to your subconscious that opportunities are indeed scarce and must be grabbed immediately. The short-term gratification trap reveals another layer of scarcity thinking. When you believe that pleasure is scarce, that you rarely get to enjoy yourself, every opportunity for immediate gratification feels precious. This thought, I never get to have nice things, creates a desperate urgency around pleasure that overrides long-term financial planning. The person who spends their emergency fund on a vacation isn't just bad with money. They're operating from the belief that joy is scarce, that they better grab it now because it might not come again. This thought creates the very experiences that seem to validate it. Financial stress that makes joy feel even more elusive. 4. Rewiring your brain. Practical strategies. Understanding the metaphysical foundation of scarcity allows you to approach financial healing from the deepest level, the level of thought and consciousness itself. Mindfulness and financial journaling aren't just about tracking expenses. They're about becoming aware of the thoughts that precede your financial decisions. Start paying attention to what you're thinking right before you spend money. What belief is driving this choice? What emotion is present? What story are you telling yourself about money, security, or worthiness? When you catch yourself thinking, "I can't afford this," pause and examine the thought. Is it absolutely true? What would be possible if you didn't believe this thought? This isn't about delusional positive thinking. It's about recognizing that your thoughts about money are creative forces, not just observations of reality. Cultivating an abundance mindset begins with a simple practice: appreciation. Every day, spend time acknowledging what you already have. Not just material things, but abilities, relationships, opportunities, experiences. This isn't feel-good fluff. This is consciousness training. The energy of appreciation literally attracts more to appreciate. When you consistently focus on what you have rather than what you lack, you begin to vibrate at the frequency of abundance. This shift in your energetic state naturally attracts experiences and opportunities that match this new vibration. Pre-commitment strategies work because they bypass the scarcity mind's tendency to panic. When you automatically save before your conscious mind has a chance to generate scarcity thoughts, you're working with your psychology rather than against it. Set up systems that remove the decision-making from your emotional state in the moment. But here's the deeper principle. Pre-commitment works because it demonstrates faith in your future self and your future abundance. Every automatic transfer to savings is an affirmation that you trust there will be enough, that you believe in your ability to create wealth, that you expect good things to come. 5. Empowering your financial future. True financial freedom isn't just about having money, it's about transforming your relationship with the energy that money represents. Building resilience through emergency funds and diverse income streams isn't just practical advice, it's a spiritual practice. Every dollar you save is a declaration of trust in yourself and in the abundance of the universe. You're literally building a foundation of security that allows you to make decisions from choice rather than fear. Learning to recognize scarcity-based marketing becomes easier when you understand that these messages can only hook you if they resonate with existing beliefs. When you see limited time only instead of reacting, pause and ask, what would someone with an abundance mindset do in this situation? Usually, they would either recognize genuine value and act deliberately, or they would let the opportunity pass, trusting that better opportunities are always flowing toward them. The long game of financial security requires understanding that wealth is not just about accumulation, it's about circulation. Money is energy, and energy must flow to remain healthy. Hoarding from fear creates stagnation. Spending from desperation creates depletion. But earning, saving, and spending from a place of conscious choice creates expansion. Here's the ultimate insight. You are not at the mercy of your financial circumstances. Your financial circumstances are at the mercy of your consciousness. Every dollar you earn began as a thought. Every dollar you spend reflects a belief. Every dollar you save demonstrates your relationship with your future self. Scarcity and abundance are not external conditions. They are internal states that create external experiences. When you truly understand this, you realize that transforming your finances is ultimately about transforming your consciousness. The thoughts you think about money become the energy you carry around money, which becomes the decisions you make about money, which becomes the results you create with money. Change the thoughts, and everything else follows. Your brain on money is not just neurons firing in response to external stimuli. It's consciousness itself, creating and shaping reality through the power of focused attention and belief. Every moment, you're choosing between scarcity and abundance, not just as mental concepts, but as living energies that literally determine what manifests in your physical experience. The scarcity you see out there in the world is always a reflection of the scarcity you carry in here in your consciousness. But here's the empowering truth. If scarcity is just a thought, then abundance is just a thought away. When you master your psychology around money, when you understand that money is both energy and consciousness in motion, you reclaim your power as the conscious creator of your financial reality. True wealth isn't just about having money. It's about knowing with absolute certainty that you are the source of your abundance. It's about understanding that every financial goal you desire already exists as pure potential in the quantum field, waiting for your aligned thoughts, emotions, and actions to call it into form. This is your invitation to step into that power, to recognize yourself not as a victim of economic circumstances, but as a conscious creator of unlimited possibility. Your financial future isn't determined by market conditions, interest rates, or global events. It's determined by the quality of consciousness you bring to the eternal dance between thought and form. Master your mind, and you master your money. Master your money, and you master your freedom. Welcome to Luxona, where millionaires are made.